With the off season now in full swing, it is now time to get into some off season discussions. I'm going to lead off the off season with a video talking about current MLB Hall of Fame players today. So if they retire tomorrow, which MLB players are going straight to Hall of Fame in my book? In my book, I could have used a couple of guys that I favor, but I favor some of these guys and I left them off. And so there were some guys that I thought would be Hall of Famers if they retired today. I looked at some of the numbers and said, I can't really make the case for them. And so they were close. Even though I liked them, I left them off. But I came up with 24. So the year is 2024. I have 24, just random. That's the number that I came up with. 24 current MLB players today that I think are Hall of Fame worthy, that are still active in today's game. So there are a few teams that have 0 Hall of Famers. Obviously, a couple of Hall of Famers that I think are going to be Hall of Famers are free agents. It's going to be weird kind of saying it, but you guys get what I'm trying to say here. Teams that don't have any Hall of Famers on them, according to me, the Orioles, Red Sox, White Sox, Tigers, Twins, Blue Jays, Rays, Mariners, Athletics, D-backs, Cubs, Reds, Rockies, Marlins, Giants, and Pirates. So those teams there do not have any Hall of Famers on them. Maybe you guys can make a case for any players on those teams, but they are not any. There are no Hall of Fame players, according to me, on those ball clubs. The first Hall of Famer that is still currently active today, that if they retire tomorrow, I think will be in the Hall of Fame, is Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is definitely underrated. He almost hit 40-40 this year, and he may have done it if the Guardians played 162 games. They only played 161. I find that pretty weird year in and year out. Like, there's just random times where a team will just play 161 games. I get it has no implications on the standings, but for like accolade, it can have implications. So the Guardians played 161 in 2024, and Jose Ramirez came up just short of 40-40. Definitely a prolific hitter for the Guardians, and will definitely probably in the Hall of Fame someday. Sticking in the AL Central, Salvador Perez. So Salvador Perez is as steady as they come behind the plate. I think he is the only catcher on this list. I may be mistaken, but I think he is. Salvador Perez, to me, he just embodies a Hall of Famer. He has a World Series under his belt, which I think is really important. Although he is a catcher, I think getting a Hall of Famer, winning World Series as a catcher is really good. Salvador Perez, for me, definitely qualifies as a Hall of Famer. Definitely one of the best defenders as well, and can hit the ball pretty well. We're going to go out west now, and Michael Trout. I reminisce about the old days, and it's weird to say that I reminisce about the old days when it comes to Mike Trout, but he was so good, man. He was so good. I wish we could see how good he was again, relive those good old days. But Mike Trout is a Hall of Famer. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is a Hall of Famer. Christian Yelich. Now, this may be the first controversial one, but he has 1,600 hits as of today. He is a 290 career average hitter. Go look at the number. He has an MVP. I mean, my goodness. Christian Yelich has made himself a case, even as today. So, puts up some more good years, and I think Christian Yelich is on the way to the Hall of Fame. Again, I think it's 10 years a player has, but they have to accumulate like a certain percentage every single year of votes to stay on the ballot. But Christian Yelich, to me, as of right now, even like I think he could be a Hall of Famer. For me at least, I think he would get. I think he eventually would get into Hall of Fame. I just genuinely think he would. So Christian Yelich, he's a Hall of Famer to me. Yeah, I said it. The next guy on this list is Francisco Lindor. Francisco Lindor, definitely as solid as they come. Definitely has gotten more recognition playing with the Mets than he did in Cleveland. But even with the Indians, he was still really highly recognized. And everybody knows how good Francisco Lindor is. And I think it took a bit of time for Frankie to get kind of used to New York and all that. But he's definitely settled in and matured as a player. I think he's definitely matured as a player, and so Francisco Lindor is a Hall of Famer today. Speaking of Hall of Famer today, Bryce Harper. He's one of the no-doubters on this list. Bryce Harper is definitely a Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. Just an absolute superstar of our generation. Bryce Harper, he defies baseball when it comes to like popularity and most popular players. Everybody knows who Bryce Harper is. Manny Machado. I assume most people know about Manny Machado too. I think we all know in the baseball realm at least. Manny Machado, like, definitely gets a bad rap or has gotten a bad rap in his career, but you watch the guy, often as I do and have, especially since he came out west. He's really good at what he does. So Manny Machado is to me a no doubt Hall of Famer. He's well on his way to Cooperstown. I see no arguments there. Speaking of no arguments, I'm just kidding. Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve, if the cheating scandal did not happen, he would no doubt be building a Cooperstown plaque as of right now. But with the cheating scandal, there does come a taint on his resume, and people don't like that. And I'm not going to get into the cheating scandal today. To me, Jose Altuve is a Hall of Famer. He just is. He just is. I'm sorry, but he just is a Hall of Famer to me. I know Dodger fans may not want to hear that, but I'm sorry, he's a Hall of Famer. I'm just going to say it. Josh Hader, another controversial one, another former Brewer, Christian Alex's Brewer. Josh Hader to me, like, I don't know if it's just me. Yeah, he's a reliever, so relievers can be kind of weird, but I don't know. Josh Hader, you look at the numbers, he's been really good in his career, lights out reliever. Like, I don't know. It's going to be close. I think if Josh Hader continues at this rate, it'll be close when it's all said and done. But even as of right now, I think he has a pretty formidable case. So I threw Josh Hader on this list. Yeah, I just did. So Josh Hader to me is a Hall of Famer. Speaking of having a case for the Hall of Fame, Corey Seager. That is really nice to say Corey Seager has a case for the Hall of Fame. It is unfortunate he is no longer a Dodger, but he's done amazing things in his career in Los Angeles, in Arlington. Corey Seager's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. You can't really argue. You cannot argue with me that Corey Seager isn't a Hall of Famer. Like, he is a Hall of Famer if he retired today. I'm sorry, but he is. Jacob deGrom is going to be a Hall of Famer as well. Kind of slowed down the last couple of years. Injuries, it kind of happens to every player. They'll go through a stretch of injuries in their career, but Jacob deGrom going through his. But Jacob deGrom is for sure a Hall of Famer in his prime. He was absolutely lights out. Max Scherzer, definitely going to be Hall of Famer as well. These guys had amazing primes. No doubt about that. And seeing Scherzer with the Dodgers was kind of surreal. Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the younger players on this list. Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer if he retires today. Yeah, I think he is. He's that good. I mean, some people are going to say, oh, he needs more numbers. But for me, like, I just think he's a Hall of Famer. He's an absolute superstar. He's 40-70. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, I'm sorry, but he is. Chris Sale. Chris Sale also is going to be Hall of Famer. I think he is on his way to Cooperstown eventually. It'll be interesting to see what people have to say about Chris Sale, but I think Chris Sale has made a case for the Hall of Fame. Paul Goldschmidt, to me as well, just an absolute Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. Whether it gets on first ballot or not is to be seen, but Paul Goldschmidt is an absolute Hall of Fame player. First class, the way he goes about his business. Just I've always loved watching Paul Goldschmidt play. Same thing with Nolan Arenado. Nolan Arenado is an amazing player, amazing talent, and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame someday as well. Juan Soto, one of the younger players on this list as well. Juan Soto going to make a case for the Hall of Fame, and for sure, I think he already has that case made. Aaron Judge, I think if he retires today, so you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to play baseball no more. I'm going to retire. Aaron Judge, it's going to be a Hall of Famer. Big G, Giancarlo Stanton, controversial one, but I don't know how this is. Giancarlo Stanton's going to be Hall of Famer. Like, he just is. He has to be. Garrett Cole is going to be Hall of Famer. We finish off with the best for last. Shohei Ohtani is going to be a Hall of Famer if he retires today. He is obviously a Hall of Famer. Like, there's no questions about it. He is a one-of-one player. Mookie Betts is a Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion, the only active player with 3 World Series rings. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Freddie Freeman, absolutely Hall of Famer, and we'll see if he gets on first ballot. I don't see why not. And last but not least, Clint Kershaw, also going to be first ballot Hall of Famer as well for the Los Angeles Dodgers in Cooperstown. So that is my list of 24 MLB players today who are currently Hall of Fame bound. Some controversial, some not. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, I'll see you on the next one.